You walk into a room, there's a cat sitting in the corner, you try to call it, you make the sounds, you crouch down, you extend your hand. The cat stares at you and walks straight to the woman sitting on the other side of the room. You fed it yesterday, she's never even touched it. What just happened? Most people think cats are just random, unpredictable, moody little creatures who choose people based on nothing at all. But that's not quite right, because scientists have been studying this exact moment, the moment a cat picks a human, for decades. And what they found is not just about cats, it's about something much older, something buried deep in how humans evolved, and something that might explain why women across the entire planet have a different relationship with cats than men do. This isn't a coincidence. This is biology. This is history. This is 10,000 years in the making. Go back 3,700 years, ancient Egypt. Archaeologists digging at Hierakonpolis, the capital of Upper Egypt, found something strange in an elite cemetery. 6 cat skeletons, 2 adults, 4 kittens, buried together, next to humans. Not eaten, not sacrificed, buried. This was published by researcher Wim van Neer of the Royal Belgian Institute of Natural Sciences in 2014. These weren't wild cats that wandered in. These were cats that lived with people, cats that mattered. And here's the detail that almost no one talks about. In ancient Egyptian art from around 1500 BCE onward, there is one image that keeps appearing over and over again. A cat sitting under the chair of a seated woman. Not a man's chair, a woman's. Archaeologists call it the cat under the chair motif. It shows up in tomb paintings, carvings, household objects. Always the same. Cat, woman, chair. This wasn't random art. This was how Egyptians saw the world. The cat belonged near the woman. And 3,700 years later, science is finally explaining why. In 2011, researcher Kurt Kotzschall at the Konrad Lorenz Station, University of Vienna, did something nobody had done before at this scale. His team videotaped 41 cats living with their owners. They recorded hundreds of hours of footage. They tracked every single interaction: who approached who first, who initiated contact, who looked away, who stayed. The results were published in the journal Behavioral Processes. The numbers were clear. Cats approached female owners more frequently. Cats initiated physical contact with women more often. And this is the part that surprised even the researchers. Cats actually remembered when their female owners had been kind to them previously and adjusted their behavior accordingly. Co-author Manuela Weddle told Discovery News directly, female owners have more intense relationships with their cats than do male owners. But why? What is actually happening in that moment when a cat chooses her over him? Here's something your body is doing right now without you realizing it. When women speak to cats, to babies, to pets, they naturally shift into what scientists call infant-directed speech. Higher pitch, slower pace, softer tone. Karen McComb, a behavioral ecologist at the Sussex University, discovered something remarkable about this. In her 2009 study published in Current Biology, she found that cats have vocal folds, the structures that make sound, almost perfectly sized to mimic the cry of a human infant. When a cat meows, your brain, especially if you're a woman, hears something close to a baby crying, and women respond. McComb found that women not only respond faster to cat vocalizations, they also mimic them back. They make the same sounds. They create a conversation, a feedback loop of sound and response that cats find, for reasons evolution hasn't fully explained yet, deeply reassuring. Men, on average, don't do this. Your brain is literally wired to hear a cat differently than his brain does. But here's where it gets strange. A 2024 study from Ankara University in Turkey, based on video footage from 31 cat owners, found something that seems to contradict everything we just said. Cats actually meow more to men, not less, more. Male owners received an average of 4.3 vocalizations from their cats in the first 100 seconds of entering a room. Female owners received only 1.8, so cats are talking more to men, but choosing women. The researchers have an explanation, and it's almost uncomfortably clever. Cats meow more to men because men are harder to read. Men respond less to subtle body language, a slow blink, an upright tail, a soft chirp. So cats turn up the volume. They escalate. They get loud. With women, they don't need to. A single upright tail, a soft sound. She already understands. Cats aren't talking more to men because they like men more. They're talking more because they have to work harder to be understood. In a study involving 157 cat owners at Laurent Eötvös University,
University in Budapest, researchers found one more piece of the puzzle. Women consistently scored higher at reading cat emotions. Show a woman a video of a cat, a tense tail, slightly narrowed eyes, one ear turned back, and she can tell you, this cat is uncomfortable, this cat wants space. Show the same video to a man, on average, and the signals get missed. This isn't a criticism, it's biology meeting culture. Women, across most societies studied, spend more time in close contact with young children, with animals, with vulnerable things that can't speak in words. Over time, that builds a literacy, a fluency in nonverbal emotional language. And cats, animals that communicate almost entirely in nonverbal emotional language, respond to that fluency like a person responds to hearing their own language spoken in a foreign country. Relief, recognition, trust. Here's the part the scientists are careful to say, and it matters. Cats don't have a biological preference for women. There is no gene, no instinct, no hardwired rule that says female human equals safe. What cats respond to is behavior, tone, consistency, emotional attunement, the willingness to listen to a creature that cannot use words. And those behaviors, statistically, across studies, across cultures, appear more often in women, which means this: any human who learns to be patient, to speak softly, to read the subtle signals, to let the cat come to them instead of forcing contact, any human who does that, the cat will choose them. The cat doesn't care about your gender. The cat cares about whether you're paying attention. Think about that for a moment. A creature with no language, no words, no ability to explain what it needs, and it has spent 10,000 years, from the grain stores of ancient Egypt to your apartment, learning to find the humans who will actually listen. Not the loudest ones, not the strongest ones, the ones who notice a single upright tail, a soft blink, a small sound in the dark. This isn't just the story of cats and women. This is the story of every living thing that has ever needed to be understood, and how it finds its way, slowly, quietly, to the person willing to pay attention. Maybe the cat was never choosing a gender. Maybe it was always choosing presence.